Dr. Warren Farrell has looked into this subject quite closely. He's the author of the book, The Boy Crisis, and he joins us tonight. Dr. Farrell, thanks a lot for coming on. So we know pretty conclusively that men in America and in other developed countries are falling behind women in a lot of different measures. To what extent is fatherlessness driving that, do you think?
A great extent. They're falling behind women in all 63 leading nations, developed nations. And in developed nations, there's the permission for divorce that there isn't in non-developed, less developed nations. And also in developed nations, there's the permission for women to marry, to have children without being married. And that creates a huge division between boys and a division of boys who are with their fathers do quite well. Boys who are not with their fathers do terribly on more than 70 different measures of measures like postponed gratification, the ability to be, whether or not they're depressed, whether or not they're drinking, whether or not they have drugs, the opioid crisis, and even the people who are involved as ISIS recruits all over the world, they're almost completely fatherless boys, and the ones that are girls are also fatherless. And so everything you've been saying for this series has been right on target with the importance of having children be involved with both fathers. Mothers are doing a huge amount of wonderful, hard work, loving and caring for their children. That's why they deserve the biological father to be involved. And when we tell the biological father, not only are you important, but the way that you father is important, the way that you enforce boundaries, the way that you encourage exploration, the way that you encourage kids to get up and try again, the way that you encourage adventure and risk-taking, the way that, that we can play together and create bonds. These are the things that mothers need to communicate, because when fathers are asked for and valued, they come back into the picture. When they're not, they drop out.
So it doesn't sound like anybody wins from fatherlessness. So if, you know, the trend is that fewer families are forming, more children are growing up without fathers at home, nobody benefits from that at all. Why aren't we sounding an alarm in this society about that, do you think?
I think we've put so much focus, especially in the Democratic Party, on freedom for women. And freedom for women is a wonderful thing. I was in the board of directors of the National Organization for Women in New York City, as you know, for many years. But freedom for women stops when they make the free choice to have children. And then a different question has to emerge, which is what is best for the children. And what we see is evidence way beyond what I ever expected before I started doing the research for the Boy Crisis, is that children do best when there is not just a father, not just a male role model, but the biological father, and a biological father is far less likely to drop out of the process when there's marriage. 40% of even men and women who live together, who don't get married and have children, 40% of those fathers never see their children after 2 years.
Those are numbers that will offend people, but that's what the science tells us, and it's obvious all around us. I appreciate that, Doctor. Thanks for coming on and for that perspective.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.